In this video, I'm going to teach you the 3 most common and potentially the biggest mistakes that people make when they're planning for elder care. I'm Rich Fleming with Heart to Heart Senior Placement Advisors, and on this channel we talk about everything to do with elder care, especially in the San Francisco Bay Area. I not only help clients transition from home into the appropriate senior living community for them, but I am also living the elder care experience with my own parents. So I really do understand the challenges and the difficulties that come with elder care. So if you have questions, regardless of whether it's about in-home care, financial planning for elder care, what have you, feel free to contact me or the rest of the team at the numbers below that is in the video description. You can call us, text us, or email us, and we'll get back to you. Mistake number 1, failure to plan. And if you've already reached that point where the elder care needs have really increased significantly, this may have passed you by, but if you still have time to plan for elder care needs before having to implement, it is important that you do so. The number 1 thing you need to do in planning your elder care is create a legal framework. And there are 4 documents that are key to creating that framework. You need a trust, a will, a durable power of attorney, and a medical health directive. And let me just tell you now, there are online sites that claim that they will do that for you. My advice is, unless you are truly financially pushed to use an online service, please use an attorney that can talk to you about your family's specific needs so they can create these documents and make sure that they're going to be both legal and effective in the state you live in and for tax purposes. The second reason you really want to plan for your elder care needs is that once you're into the crisis modes, the stress levels of all those involved increase, and it's very difficult to make decisions. And you often have to make decisions in crisis mode in a very short time frame with limited options. So by planning ahead, sharing your wishes ahead, making sure it is understood who you want to act as your primary health representative or your primary legal representative as a senior is key. Once you wait until the crisis hits, then it is just pandemonium. So please, please, please get a game plan, because it's going to come. Not talking about it and not addressing it is not going to make it go away. The second common mistake that seniors and their families often make, not understanding the cost of elder care and the resources available to pay for it. A lot of people do retirement planning, and in doing so, the assumption is often that the expenses will be reduced. Your home is often paid for. Hopefully, if you have kids, they're out of the home. Your expenses have just reduced significantly from what they were. And that is what people often base their retirement planning on, but they sometimes, all too often, don't plan for elder care expenses. And when elder care starts to be necessary, the monthly expenses can increase dramatically. Now, a good place to get an idea about the expense associated with elder care is the Genworth Financial Survey of Elder Care Cost. Genworth Financial is a long-term care insurance provider, and they do an annual survey on the cost of elder care throughout the country. I think it is a great baseline for understanding what you might expect for the cost of care, but take it with a grain of salt. The actual cost you may incur may vary dramatically depending on exactly what your geographic location is, what type of community you're looking to transition to, and most importantly, the level of support and care you will need once in the community. So for example, if you or your senior has Parkinson's and needs significant assistance in getting dressed, getting undressed, getting out of bed, showering, toileting, all of these are expenses that you will be charged for by the community. And this can increase the monthly expense dramatically. So you have to understand that the Genworth Financial Survey is just a baseline. Now here in the San Francisco Bay Area, you can anticipate monthly expenses to be anywhere from about $7,000, and they can easily go up to $20,000 a month. Now, the second aspect related to the cost of elder care is how to pay for it. And a lot of seniors and their families assume that Medicare will pay for assisted living. And that's generally not true. Medicare has very specific requirements about paying for assisted living, and those benefits typically don't last more than 100 days. Now, you might be able to use Medi-Cal, which is also known as Medicaid in the rest of the country, to qualify and pay for assisted living. Medi-Cal is actually the largest payer of assisted living benefits in the state of California. However, there are very strict income requirements. On a monthly basis, the senior must meet to qualify for Medi-Cal. And because the payout levels for Medi-Cal are typically lower than the market rate, very few providers of services accept Medi-Cal. So you really have to plan for private pay. And what ends up happening is, in a rush, if there has been no planning, the family and the senior have to sell assets in a very rushed manner to be able to pay for senior care. So by planning, you can avoid this and make sure that the senior and the family is in the best financial position. The third critical mistake seniors and their families often make, and this is a big one, making senior care decisions based on the wrong criteria. And what do I mean by this? Well, care decisions are very complex. How they're made, who makes them, it's a lot. There's a large emotional aspect of that. You want the senior to feel that they are participating and, for the most part, in control of their care decisions. But at some point, you have to consider two factors that are most important in elder care, and those should really override any other promises made, guilt, even to an extent the senior's own desires, because sometimes people don't know or accept what they need. And those two factors that have to be paramount to any other decision criteria are, one, the safety of the senior. And by that I mean, are they safe in their current living situation? Regardless of whether they want to stay at home, if they have fallen multiple times, if they have dementia or Alzheimer's and are wandering risk, or they are at risk of forgetting to turn off the stove, they are a safety risk. And beyond any promises are made or desires of the senior, safety of that senior has to be the number one thing that is considered. So once the senior is become a safety risk, then higher levels of elder care are necessary, regardless of what the desire is. The second aspect is, what is the financial resources of the senior and the family to provide that care? Desiring 24-hour in-home care so they can stay at home is great if the resources are available, but you will find that in-home care that exceeds probably 12 to 16 hours a day is more expensive than actually transitioning to a assisted living community. So look at the needs of the senior more so than anything else. Look at their safety, look at their financial stability in making that decision. The elder care journey is a beautiful one to have the honor to participate in, but that doesn't mean it doesn't come without its challenges. So if you need assistance with any aspect of elder care, especially any aspect of transitioning from home into an assisted living community, please feel free to reach out to us. And we are full of contacts and referrals to other professionals in the elder care world that can provide you with guidance and assistance that you may need. Please share this video with other people that you think may benefit from it. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button to keep YouTube happy, and hit that subscribe button so you know each and every time we release a new video. We'll see you in the next video.